My mother told me that Bertha accidentally made the German of my quarter. She saw I couldn't go on, threw me into the cold snow, let it self-destruct. When a hungry mother wolf smelled it, she came. But it didn't eat me. He sees me as his son, using its milk to nourish me, until an old man went up the mountain to pick medicine, discovered me. This old man's a fortune teller, famous within a few hundred miles. Find me pitiful. He took me home and made me his disciple. And so 12 years went by. On my 12th birthday, Master told me about the wolf. My mother went to the mountains a few times, but I can't find the mother wolf. But every time we go up the mountain, it's weird. Other people's children go up the mountain if they don't see snakes. We also encounter wild boars and other wild animals. But every time I go up the mountain, then nothing ever happens. Back down the mountain, I always pick up some rabbits that just died, or the wild chicken. Master has given me a name called the third ceiling. He said he found me on December 13th, in the snow and ice, for 3 days, and I'm still in my 30s. This number meets the sand is my destiny. Everyone in the village called him a fairy. All mean the cross. Only I know. This old man looks like an avant-garde, but the back is even more stingy. I taught me to read fortune tellers. Good wine and good meat are hidden in the house. I was afraid I would steal. This old man really doesn't have any integrity. As the master said, it's higher than the sun, thicker than the walls. Since I found out about my body that day, I sat in the sky eating half a roast chicken, without dropping a single tear. It's not sad. It's no use crying. That couple could have just cruelly thrown me, just fell into the snow. They didn't see me as a boy. I have nothing to cry about. For those who don't, just from that day, I go to the mountains to find my mother wolf more often. Previously at the mountain, I'm just hanging around on the side of the mountain and picking up animals. The forest is running home. Now I've always wanted to go deep into the mountains. Master has told me over and over again that, where it's painted in that dangerous cut, it's not where I should be. But I keep it out of your ears. The front foot just came out the door to pick up the medicine. I ran with a knife on my back foot. When you go up to the mountain, it's bad. No matter how deep I go into the mountains. Never had any trouble. There was once, I saw a big blanket with a bowl mouth in the middle of the road. I try to stay calm and watch it tense up, prepare to risk your life. As a result, the snake looked at me twice, and then writhing into the grass and running away. But it's as if you're dealing with a crystal. There's another time I ran into a wild boar that weighed over 300 pounds, towering claws, to the strongest hunter the village had seen. We also have to take a detour. That wild boar is breathing right at me. At that time, my feet came out, thinking silently, this fruit is gone and not frozen by the biological parents. On the contrary, he was killed by wild pigs. As a result, the wild boar, just a few steps away from me. Suddenly, there was a sound in the forest. The wolf's low profile. That wild boar was struck by lightning. Stop right foot and turn your head and run for your life. I don't even dare to look back. I stand buried in place, stupid for a long time, towards the forest and shouted, are you right? The wolf gave me milk, but in the forest only the wind blows through the leaves, rustling without a sound of response. But wait until I'm down the mountain. My feet had just crossed the boundary stone. I saw in the grass on the side of the road lying 2 hares at the moment. There is a small wound on the neck. The blood just flowed. The body is still warm. This has happened no less than 10 times. I used to think I was lucky. Stockings are a bargain. But after my 12th birthday, the tension in my heart suddenly tightened. I took the rabbit home that day, sitting by the river to wash. I especially flipped it to turn around to observe the rabbit's wound. It's neat and thin like a needle. Not like being bitten by a dog. Not even by hunters, shot by crossbow. It's not a hunting trap in the mountains. I always bite my throat. The wound must be torn. There's no such thing as this. In my heart down, I picked up the chicken a few times before. I found the same cut on the chicken's neck. It turns out that these wild animals, it's not that I picked it up, that someone deliberately put there. I'll run home with chickens and rabbits. My master is sitting in the yard. The compass that he polished to the point of casting a shadow. I threw the rabbit on the stone table and pointed at the wound. Ask your teacher to tell the truth. How did this rabbit end up dying? Every time I go up the mountain, does everyone have something to follow? Master didn't raise his head and took the cheek piece. Continue to dash the compass indifferently. There are many types of animals in the mountains. Come on. You're so busy. You can't eat. Let me eat tonight. Don't trick my son into smashing the table. This wound is not a wild animal bite. It's not a hunting gun. What is it? Every time I go deep into the mountains, you know that every time you cross a line, boundaries who don't ask you to call me back, go to the mountain and take me home. Is someone hiding something from you? The master's hand paused a little, finally looked up at me. His cloudy eyes flashed a ray. Feelings I don't understand. There is relief. There's anxiety and a little helplessness. He put the compass in a wooden box and knocked on the pipe. The spark screeched a little. The ring of smoke that blew out dimmed his face. There are things that are not your age should know. He said slowly, wait for me to get a little older. What I should tell you, I will not miss a word. Tell me everything. Now I just need to remember. This mountain will not hurt you. The things in the mountains will not harm you. The human heart is much more terrifying than the wild animals. I want to ask more in the mountains. But he got up and went into the house. I don't care what I call it. That night, Master actually stewed a rabbit full of potatoes. It smells so good that I'm drooling. But I keep eating forever. I always don't feel good. It's like a rock weighing down my master, sitting across from a spoonful of wine and a piece of meat. Look at the look on my face. Still no words in the end. I didn't understand it then. The words are more terrifying. The beast in the master's mountain. It's not just talk. Less than half a month later, something happened in the village. The one who met him was the king. The best hunter in the village is 8 meters tall. Athletic fizzy, alone can carry a wild boar down the mountain. Big liver, big honey heaven. His wife just gave birth to a son. I am in a hurry but lack of milk. Early that morning the king took his hunting rifle up the mountain. He said he wanted to go deep into the mountains and hunt one. Panic for wife impregnated. The result is a circuit that never comes back. The first day didn't come back. The villagers thought he was sleeping in the mountains, busy chasing. Panic goes too far. But on the third day, there was no sign. His wife holding her new baby sitting at the head of the village, fry into the darkness of everyone's faces. I'm panicking right now. Village chief out. More than 20 young men. They all carry hunting rifles and lean on the mountains to find people. I've been searching for 2 days. The mountain ahead up. Finally, I only found a cotton mat of the second cylinder in the deep ravine, the same pool of blackened blood. You can't even see the shadow. This made the whole village talk. What kind of person is King Duck Duom? That's the guy who dared to confront the wild boar face to face. Don't say normal animals. Even if you encounter a grizzly bear, not to the point where there's no bone left. I didn't even have time to fire a shot. Villagers secretly gossip among themselves. Say that. In the mountains appeared pepper specialist cannibalism. There was also a woman sitting at the head of the village clapping her thighs firmly. Mountain Langtsu. A few hundred years ago there was a legend that if you paint the gods in the mountains angry, they will take the lives of the living. In a moment, the whole village was terrified that it was getting dark. The house has a gate lock. Even the dog in the yard can't bark. It's dark, right into the nest. The trembling in my heart itches again. Half are curious. Half want to show off. One is, I always have the feeling this isn't going away. Related to the mother wolf in the mountains. Take the opportunity to find this person. Go deep into the mountains to find it. 2. I think. If I could take the second lord back to the villagers, they will definitely look at me with different eyes, especially at the top of the village. Maybe you'll give me 2 more boiled eggs. She is a widow in the village. My husband went hunting the other year and fell to his death. She lives alone. Beautiful appearance. My heart also sees me alone. Sometimes you give me a dumpling or boiled egg. I like to joke with her. When I grow up, I will marry you. Every time he makes you blush and beat me, but never really angry. Once I have decided, I begin to prepare. When master took a nap, I sneak into the room. He pulled out the peachwood sword he had hidden under the bed. Husband some amulets he drew stuffed into him. Finally, he kept half a bottle of white wine in the closet, walking on the side, holding a knife, and sneaking out the door, straight behind the mountain. Before I left, I deliberately glanced at the stela on the side of the mountain. Master has told me 5 times, 7 times, don't let me walk over the stone. Half step, I stood in front of the stela and looked deep into the mountain, inside the silent, murky tree shadow. But I'm not afraid in my heart. On the contrary, I feel an inexpressible familiarity. Master, forgive me, and wait for me to find you. I will plead guilty to the latter. I muttered a sentence and walked across the stone. I just walked by, and I felt something was wrong. It's clear that during the day, the sun is shining, but on the stela side, the forest here is dark. The sun shines through the leaves. Even the grass on the ground can't shine. Sound of the wind. The ear also changes like a woman's cry. The tree's nails sway back and forth. What kind of look? It's like every shadow standing there. I held the knife in my hand. To motivate yourself. In the heart of the cross, you were raised by wolves, protected by the god of paint. What the fuck are you afraid of? But not half an hour. I found out I was lost. It's clear that the lambs are following the ravine, but go on, and on, and on, and back to the same place. The stone is not far behind me. I don't believe in ebony fish changing direction. It's been so different for 2 hours that it's exhausting. The result is going back and forth and seeing that Stella, the devil hit the wall master, used to say, when you meet the devil, don't panic. 1 is piss a beach to break. 2 is to shout, swearing as badly as possible. Those dirty things are the scariest. Although I don't have that anymore, but it's okay to pee. I went under a big tree. Take off your pants and pee on the roots. And then, put your hands on your hips and yell into the woods, the blind serpent god who dares to come. I stand in your way. Believe me, I dig a grave. Your ancestors let the wolves in the mountains tear you apart. I've been protected by this mountain god. Dare to stand in the way. I'll give you forever no superbugs. I swore so much that my saliva spilled all over me. I swear all the vulgar things that are normal. Master wouldn't let me talk. When I finished, I heard the sound of bees in my ears. The tree in front of me suddenly disappeared. The murky wind also stopped. The sun immediately hit the road. There is clearly one in front of me. I breathed a sigh of relief, clapped my chest silently. The teacher taught this technique very effectively. We followed the path and kept going inside. The deeper you go into the forest, the denser it gets. The leaves fall on the ground and form a thick layer. It's nice to step on it without making any noise. Sometimes there's a few birds singing in my ears, and the wolves howling in the distance. But that howl wasn't scary at all. On the contrary, it's like guiding me. 1 hour. Then there's an echo deep in the valley. About an hour later, I went to a cave entrance. That cave is hidden behind a large rock. The cave's entrance was hidden by vines. If you don't look closely, it's completely undetectable. I heard a moaning in the cave. It's the same as people screaming. Because of discomfort, my heart hurriedly clenched the knife. I slowly untie the ropes and creep in the dark cave on. The smell of blood, and the smell of blood. I walked in about 10 steps. I saw in the corner a person cowering. The cotton shirt on him was torn. All over my face was blood on my head. There's a mouth that's constantly muttering something. As if I approached, it turned out to be the second cylinder, a man who has been missing for 5 days. I called him for an hour, but he didn't seem to hear, still cowering there. The mouth keeps muttering, "Don't look for me. Don't look for me." His eyes were as lifeless as a lunatic. I gave him a push. He used one himself. He suddenly looked up at me, bared my teeth like a crazy person. He tried to strangle me. I hurriedly dodged behind in my lap. That's it. The second universe is threatened with madness. I ran out of advice, all kinds of coaxing, but he didn't listen. Keep retreating into the corner, mouth endlessly murmuring about blood and white wolves. I ran out of ways. We can't leave him here anyway. I have to sit down. Put him on his back. King Bin Tuongtu. The weight on it almost choked me. I gritted my teeth and carried him out into the cave. It was strange to say that it took more than 2 hours. Now, carry the 2 pillars. It's only half an hour before the beer limit. On the way, not even stumbled upon a stone that came smoothly. It's harder to believe. I always have the feeling that something's following me. It's a strange feeling. There's no malice. It's like protecting me. I've turned around a few times, but only the wind, blowing through the leaf. There's nothing. Only once. Or I accidentally caught a glimpse of a white shadow in the forest. Fast as an illusion, I suddenly screamed into the forest. The white wolf. There's no response, only the wind blowing through the rustling leaves. Wait until I get back to the village. The whole village is buzzing. The village yard is closed in front of the king's house, round inside outside, watching me drop the 2 pillars from my back. Everyone's eyes are wide open. Oh my god. The boy has found the 2nd pillar. This 12-year-old boy dared to go into the forest. That's good. He was a disciple of the fairy. Of course, I'm standing in the crowd. Here people huddle in praise, so swaggering that the tail is about to rise to the sky. Especially if you pass through the crowd, walk in front of me, give me 2 hot boiled eggs, and pulled out a handkerchief to dust on my face and laughing. You're really good at that. Thank you for finding the owner. My face flushed red and scratched my head laughing. In my heart, take the master's instructions. The strange things in the paint. Throw it behind your head. But 1,000 times I can't believe it. This time I came out not just not being a hero, but on the contrary. It's bad for the body. The 2nd day after returning, the universe is completely insane. He broke the rope that his family tied. I can see people biting their mouths and screaming. Blood comes, and we all have to die. Red eyes as cool as a rabbit. Great power. 3 young men couldn't hold him. His family rushed to find me. The master carried the peachwood saw to the 2nd emperor's house. I stood by the bed for a long time and started to get a pulse. The master finally shook his head and sighed. The soul is lost, and the soul is broken. There's only one soul left that can't be saved. Master just finished. That night, the king died. And master, look at the death of the king. I can't forget my whole life. His whole body shrank into a lump on the bed of wrinkled skin like dry bark, glued to the bone. The whole body does not have a wound, but the whole person is sort of sucked up, all the steam and blood, so thin that there's only one dry skeleton left. Even the eye sockets are deeply indented. My eyes glowed with horror. The village is over 70 years old this year, a lifetime of autopsies. I walked around the body for half a day, finally shaking his head. Live your whole life. I've never seen anything like this. There was no more blood on him. Even the marrow in the bone is drained, but from top to bottom through a pinhole wound. Not found either. This word just came out, and the whole village exploded. Before that it was just bewilderment. It's now completely turned into horror. I don't know who opened his mouth first to murmur in the crowd a sentence. This guy was raised by wolves. It was a love thing. When he got to the mountain, this happened. The 2nd ring is also brought back by it. It must have led the mountain beast back to the village. This word is like a fire falling on a haystack, burned violently in an instant. That's right. That's it. It's a comet. That year his parents threw him away. It's because it's a wolf. If you don't ask the fairy to pick it up, he died in the mountains a long time ago. The 2nd pillar is because it kills. If it's not in the mountains, it's in the mountains. How can you go out and hurt people? Everyone's eyes are the same, pouring on me. Praise and admiration, before it all turned into disgust and horror. It's like seeing something really dirty. I was so angry that my whole body trembled, pointing at them screaming. What do you mean by retirement? I saved him from the mountain. He's dead. Why is my chest blaming me? It's not who you are. The village elder stepped out against the stick, straight in my face. Touch your face again. The villagers didn't treat you badly that year. Why did you bring animals into the village? Harm our people. I don't. I was red in the eyes trying to explain to them. But they don't listen at all, one by one with red eyes pointing at me. I'm a comet. Is the demon wolf even? Some even picked up stones on the ground, threw it straight at me. Master pulled me behind his back. Coldly look at everyone. From those cloudy eyes there was a sudden burst of air. Picture person. The crowd that was buzzing was suddenly quiet. Who are my disciples? I know better than you. Master's voice is not loud, but every word is clear. The death of the king is due to what is on the mountain. You dare to fall. Don't blame me for not being polite. The villagers are afraid of Master. No one dared to say another word. But my eyes are still full of hostility and fear. On the way back, I bowed my head and followed my master. Not say a word. Master looked back at me, sighing, patting my shoulder. Don't let that be in people's hearts. When something can't be solved, you always have to find someone else. I raised my nose and asked the master, how did the 2nd universe finally die? The white and blood wolf. He muttered, what was it after all? And how much is he hiding from you? The teacher was silent for a long time and finally said only one sentence. When the time comes, I will tell you, but I didn't expect this opportunity to come so quickly. The king has been in hiding for less than half a month. Something happened in the village. The 2 hunters went up the mountain to hunt and disappeared until the villagers found it. The 2 of them died in the ravine. The condition of the body is exactly the same as the 2nd cylinder. The whole body's blood is drained. All that's left is a dry skeleton. This time the village was completely destroyed. Everyone started packing up their stuff. I'm going to move out of this place. But the old village chief refused. They say that our ancestors lived here forever. The ancestral graves are also here. If you move, it will not be easy. I can't live anywhere. That night the village chief summoned everyone, meeting all night in the street. The next morning I heard the villagers talking. The village chief said, want to quench the wrath of the mountain god. If you want to save the village, you must sacrifice the mountain. And the sacrifice is a comet like me. They wanted to tie me up and carry me to the mountain. The mountain god used my life in exchange for peace for the whole village. When I heard this, I was eating your chicken leg. Thulan brought me in the morning in the yard. I just ate a chicken leg. He was so angry that he almost bit his bones. I was kind enough to save people. They finally dared to take me to the mountain. God of the world. And the kind of guy who crosses his arms and dies. It was as dark as ink that night. The wind blows the cage. I sneak out. Go to the village chief's house, into the chicken coop in his backyard. I crept over to open the barn door. I let out more than 20 fat chickens inside. I even pulled out some of the shusa that master had painted. A giant turtle came to his gate, write 5 letters next to it. Fucking village chief. To get these things done, I snuck home and slept in my bed. The next morning, there were more than 24 chickens in the village. If you run, you lose. The gate is painted. The old village chief was standing around the village. The villagers laughed when they saw it, but they laugh. Intend to take me to the mountains. It doesn't diminish at all. Even because of this, the more certain they are that I'm a stubborn crook. What a pitiful person. Early morning 3 days later, master was invited by the villagers to see Feng Shui, so I left the house early. I just woke up washing my face in the yard. You hear it outside, the sound of messy footsteps, lifting his head to look at the yard door being kicked by a foot. Sheesh. The village led dozens of young men. Hand-picked shovel point and rope rushed in, encircled the whole yard. My heart is beating. I know it's over. They came to arrest me when master was not at home. But I'm not panicking on my face. But the sink in your hand. Take a stool and sit in the middle of the yard, holding up half the curtain on the table, slowly gnawing. Just look at them. I said, what is it about pushing your master like this? The bidding war. If you only have half to eat, buy it yourself. The village elder walked up to me with a stick. Your face is pale, just straight in my face. I swear naked. You're a fucking comet. Since you came here, my village has not had a peaceful day. 3 people are dead. We have to tie you up today. God's sacrifice to the dead. I finished the bidding, smiling the cake in his hand. The village chief said, you're not right. It's because I carried it from the depths of the mountain, and those 2 hunters, I've never met. Their death has nothing to do with you. You are the god of the mountain. Then, you take me to the temple. That's no different than taking the mountain god to sacrifice the mountain god. Your brain is drinking water. You're dead. And you dare to talk. The village chief raised his hand. There are more bottles coming in. With the rope on me. I didn't resist either. Anyway, with this little body, not too many people fight. Resistance is useless. By saving a little energy, they tied me to a pole. My shield goes into the mountains. I'm tied up on a pole, and I'm not afraid. Along the way to bargain with them. I told my priests to paint the gods. But I'm this big. You haven't even eaten a full moon yet. You have to at least prepare for me. A chicken stew, a jug of good wine, for me to make a ghost full. If not, when I die, I will become a real lover. Every day at your house you steal chickens and catch dogs. Dipping the roof over the water well. Don't blame me for not reminding you. The boys despised me. I threatened to make your face pale. Look at each other confused. The village chief turned his head. Don't listen to this poor man. It's just scaring you. But halfway up the mountain, I still have a cowardly villager, sneaking in a bottle of wine, and a roasted chicken wrapped in oil-soaked paper. I was tied up and couldn't eat myself, so I told them to feed me. I ate and drank and didn't forget to comment. This wine is not too light, not even with a wine vase embroidered by my master's lion. This chicken is not good. Too little salt is not as good as the stew. The man who carried me was irritated by me. His hands trembled, but he dared not do anything. I'm just afraid. I'm actually turning into a demon. Then find them for revenge. More than 2 hours. They carried me to the altar on the mountain. This is from a previous life. It's all built of stone, tall and taller than half. It's all over the place with these foggy patterns. There are many traces of black. I don't know if it's blood or what. In the middle of the altar stood a large coarse stone pillar. They tied me to that pole. The villagers knelt under the altar. The village elder stood in front of the altar holding 3 incense sticks. I want to say something that will make you less angry. We've brought the comet to your people. Please bless the peaceful villagers. Don't let death happen again and so on. I'm tied to a pole. To hear him whisper in his heart is ridiculous. They always say I'm a monster. But I ended up taking the monster with me. Shaikh sun god. It's the biggest joke in the world in their mouths. Just in time for the village chief to put incense into the incense pot. Suddenly, there's a hurricane. The wind makes people angry. The back of my neck is covered in leaves falling on the ground. Keep your eyes open. It's suddenly dark. The thick black cloud came to block the closed sun. It's clearly daytime. The face is as dark as ink. Soon in the forest came the howling of wolves, one wave after another, one sound after another from far and near. It's getting denser. It's getting louder. The concussion is so bad that using the headphones, the scalp is numb. The villagers, who were kneeling on the ground, immediately panicked. Each of them was afraid to kneel on the ground. The head did not dare to lift up. The village chief was also horrified. The incense in his hand fell to the ground, mouth constantly muttering. It's an epiphany. I raised my head to the forest, only seen from the forest. Around the altar hurled out every wolf, one pair of eyes. They give off a blue glow in the dark, bared his teeth, and surrounded the entire altar, step by step to dozens. Hundreds of black wolves trotting a region. The altar, without a drop of water. But what's strange is that these wolves are aggressive. But no one came forward. Just surround the altar. She snarled softly as if she was protecting something. At this moment, the wolves suddenly gave way. A mother wolf. My whole body came out of the forest. It's bigger than a normal wolf. Fur-on white guy sucking not a hair come shot. Under the dim light, it's like it's shining. His amber eyes didn't take a hint of evil. Just stare straight at me, step by step towards the altar. In that moment my heart was strangled by a hand. Liv spacey nose. Tears almost fell. It's the wolf. She used milk to save my life in the snow. I've looked for it countless times that year, but he never came out to see me. And today, when I was most in danger, it came. The white wolf jumps to the altar, step in front of me. I looked at him, and he looked at me, the amber eyes filled with tenderness. With a little worry, he bowed his head with his sharp teeth. Bite the rope that binds me. A rope as big as a thumb. It was bitten off with one blow. It just bit off the whole rope on me, and gently rubbed my hand with my head. His throat made a small moan. It's like a little dog who's been dumped. I reached out to stroke its hairy head. My hands are still trembling and choking. Turns out you're always here. I looked for you so many times. Why don't you come and see me? It's rubbing against the palm of my hand. He moaned for 2 hours, as if he were apologizing to me. Below the altar, the villagers were soon threatened. They saw the scene first. Look at the white wolf and see the other. Look at me and the white wolf. They can finally react. I'm not a comet. It's not a wolf either. This white wolf is the mountain god they sacrificed for hundreds of years, and I'm the one who's protected. I don't know who's leading the way. Kneel down. I knelt on the ground, endlessly smashing heads with me and the white wolf. And soon all the villagers knelt down on their heads, liar mouth endlessly begging. Son, God forgives the lives of the third family. The old village chief sat down on the ground, face as grey as ash, and my mouth kept muttering. It's done. It's done. I look at them with no pleasure in my heart. Revenge just feels so tasteless. I yelled at them with my hand. Get out of here. Don't do these stupid things again. If you dare to mess with me again, don't blame me. The wolves on the mountain are not welcome. The villagers ran as if they had their feet on their necks. Even the hoe that fell on the ground, the knife, didn't dare pick it up. In the blink of an eye, the flock is empty. It's just me, the white wolf, and the wolves around me sat. He reached down and hugged the white wolf and smiled. Thank you for saving me again. The white wolf licked my face and turned and go deep into the mountains. He kept walking 2 steps and looked at me. It's like telling me to follow it. I know it wants to take me somewhere, a place it's hidden away for years, where they never told me. I dusted myself off and followed him. The wolves followed behind me, and I didn't take half a step, just like my bodyguards. We went deep into the mountains, about an hour in front of a waterfall. The waterfall flowed down from the cliff, pouring down the lagoon, creating a rumbling sound. The water splashed all my clothes. The white wolf led me through the waterfall. It turns out that behind the waterfall lies a cave. The cave's entrance was hidden by the waterfall. Even if we go all the way to the front of the waterfall, it can't be discovered either. There's a cave here. Go into the cave. I just found out. Inside, it's a completely different scene. The cave is very spacious. It's bigger than my master's yard. From the ceiling of the cave drooping down countless stalactites on the ground. Flat slabs of stone. It's very bright in the cave. On the magnificent wall is inlaid with individual Shao emits a soft light, illuminating the entire cave clearly. It's not dark at all. In the middle of the cave, there's a giant stela, higher than 2 heads, above engraved with the words, and also the complicated patterns. I walked in front of the stone. He looked up and was stunned in the blink of an eye. The whole body's blood is frozen. At the top of the stela, 4 big, strong letters, White Wolf, Foot Soldiers, and below it is clearly engraved my birthday bowl, along with my name, Bear Cross Tam. My mind was buzzing for an hour. It's like being struck by lightning. I stood there for half a day without moving. I reached out and touched the words on the beer. Fingers turned to a cold feeling. Those words are engraved very deeply. It's absolutely not new. It's covered in traces of time. Super blue has grown into a thick layer of shoes. I run my shoes. The left hand scratches the super blue layer at the bottom of the stela. See the error line above. The 12th 10,000 calendar year. The current way. It's been almost 400 years. On the stela of 400 years ago. Engrave my name again. Engrave my birthday. Self-bowl. My whole body is standing in front of a stone. My mind is completely empty. What the master said, the words that I hear don't understand, the things he's hiding from me, in the blink of an eye exploding in my head. Who am I after all? I'm really just a normal kid, abandoned by parents, raised by wolves. It was picked up by the fortune teller's master. At this moment the white wolf rubbed my hand with his head, led me to the interior of the cave. The interior is slightly smaller than the exterior. There is a stone bed in the middle. On the stone bed brushed soft animal skin. I can see that there often seem to be people. Next to the stone bed is a wooden box, to be cleaned clean, without a speck of fawn dust. Point at that barrow with your claw. I walked over and took a deep breath. Open that bottle. Look at the little red bib in the box. Is no for babies to wear. Next to it is a piece of warm jade. I picked up the jewels. On the jade bumper engraved a picture. The white wolf is holding its head high. That pattern is identical to the pattern on the talisman, the protection that my master gave me. My master holds a jewel and his hands tremble. This red bib was worn when I was born. That year, I was thrown in the snow. You're wearing only this red bib. Master once told me. That year when he found me, I only have this bib on me, along with this bumper jewel. But why are these things here? In this cave that existed 400 years ago, right when my mind is messed up. Outside the cave, suddenly, there was a terrible scream. And then there's the wolf. Every hour in succession, full of pain and despair. White walrus immediately ruffled white fur on the body. Stand up. Towards the outside of the cave, roar the ferocious bass. The blinking amber eyes were filled with deadly gas. Something happened in my heart. I grabbed the black sword by the stone bed and followed the white wolf out of the cave. The scenes outside the cave made me angry. Ripple. The 2 eyes of the wolves had just surrounded the cave, has now fallen apart. The wolves are dead. The state of death is identical. Stands in the village, blood on the sucked. The whole wrinkled body shrinks into a band. The remaining wolves are surrounding a person. Bared his teeth, constantly growling, but did not dare to rush up. And the man in the middle is the old village chief. No, not the old village chief. His face is still the face of the old village chief, but the eyes turned red as blood. The body is emitting a thick jet of black air. He holds a black sword in his hand. The corners of his mouth cracked a hauntingly demonic smile, are staring at me. That smile was definitely not the old village chief's. Bear Cross Tam. His voice came up. No male, no female. Hide her ears like 2 stones rubbing against each other. Immediately numb the scalp. I have been waiting for you for 400 years. You finally changed that, and my eye squinted. My hand held the long sword. I immediately understood in my heart that it was blood. He's the one who killed the king. Killed 2 hunters who drained their blood to death. What feeds on their blood is evil. Master said you're not allowed to mention it. He entered the old village chief. You killed people in the village. I gritted my teeth and asked how it was. The blood control body of the old village chief laughed, a chilling murky smile. What if we don't kill them? Those idiots lured you here. Bluefoot army. You thought you were reincarnated. You hide in the body of a child. I can't find you. 4 letters White Wolf foot soldiers. On the stela, once again exploding in my mind. Who are you after all? I stared at him and asked him every word. Who am I? The blood killer laughed loudly, haha, laughing frantically. 400 years ago, you have sealed me on the top of this mountain. I have been tormented for 400 years. You dare to ask me who I am? That year, if you hadn't interfered with other people, I soon sucked in the blood of thousands of people to become a great leader. You have ruined my path. Sealed me on a dark mountain top with no sun for 400 years. Every day I think about how to avenge this. Now, you've moved it and sealed it loose. We're finally out. Today, I will cleanse your soul, devouring the source of your deity, to avenge the hatred sealed years ago. His words crashed like a sledgehammer into my heart. 400 years ago, I'm the one who goes by the name of the White Walrus. Sealed him at the top of the mountain. I am the White Walrus. At this time, blood is working. He controls the village chief's body. Come boldly towards me. The black sword in his hand gave off a thick black air. The smell of blood slashed straight into my chest, where the dark air passes through. The grass on the ground winked and withered. Even the stone is corroded into marks. I was so scared at the time that I was shaking my leg, standing dead in a place that cannot be avoided. Just as the black knife was about to strike me, the White Wolf is coming. Use your body in front of me. The black knife slashed the White Wolf in the back to cut a deep wound, the black air blinking into the white man's body. The White Wolf moaned in pain and fell to the ground. The snow-white fur was immediately dyed red with blood. My eyes were red and white, and I hugged her. It's in my heart. Brush my hand with my head. His amber eyes filled with anxiety. There's a low memory in the neck, like telling me to run away. Want to run late. Blood is coming towards me. The black sword in his small, bloody hand. He laughed furiously. White Wolf foot soldiers. Now you're just a chicken-tied kid. Even my soul can't control it. Take something out to fight me. In the past you were strong. Is the mountain god of this wandering mountain, governing hundreds of miles of mountains and rivers. Doesn't it matter if we kill now? Today, I will make your soul fly. Never be superborn. He raised his black knife to cut me down. Right in this moment of 1,000 pounds, hanging hair. Suddenly, there was a loud shout. The nail in my ear hurts and harms my disciple. A mighty man's shadow came out of the forest. In the handle of the island, wooden sword. On the yellow skin cells. Hands brandishing a golden charm. Placed the powder right on the forehead. The spell immediately caught fire. Gold flames, wrapped in black air. The blood makes a rustling sound. The blood makes a miserable cry. Bowled back some. Hugging my forehead hurt so much that my whole body trembles. I looked at the familiar figure. Tears suddenly fell down. This is the master who came. Master turned his head and looked at me. Look at the injured man. I was so angry in my heart that the depth of my hair stood up and scolded me. This stinking kid. I told you not to go into the forest. You don't listen. You almost lose your life. I'll deal with you later. My master is choking with words. The blood has stabilized the body. He looked at the master with eyes filled with cruel hatred. It was you who helped him seal me. It's been 400 years and you're not dead. This is the first time I know the name of my teacher. Master laughed coldly for an hour, clenching his wooden sword. The island said coldly, that old man, our army is not ready. How dare I die? I have guarded this mountain for 400 years, is to wait until today. Waiting for you, to come out and destroy you, forever except the afterlife. It turns out that master is no ordinary fortune teller. You're the one who followed me 400 years ago. Follow the White Walrus together. Close the blood seal waiting for me to change. Who used the Dharma to prolong his lie. This forest for 400 years. Just relying on you. The blood killer laughed loudly. 400 years ago you were no match for me. Now that you are near the earth, you still want to stop me. Today, I will kill you first, and then kill the kid who moves like this. The word is not over. The blood is coming. Black knife in hand carrying black gas. The sky slashed straight at the master. The master was not alarmed either. Each wood sword in hand dancing up and soaring. Mouth to read the mantra. Every spell that swung out collides with the black air. Makes a rustling sound. A man an evil blink of an eye rushed into a fight. Master's Dharma is very good. But the blood has absorbed the blood of 3 people. He trained for 400 years in the seal. The power has gone beyond the past. Master soon fell into the lowest position. The black air of the black knife hit my arm. The blink of an eye has been corroded. There was a deep wound on his arm. Black blood immediately flowed out. The master groaned for an hour. Take a few steps back, spat out a sip of fresh blood, and fell to the ground. My master screamed for a rush. Don't come over here, the white-faced master shouted at me. Concentration of spirit. Remember who you are. I am the god of this mountain. Hundreds of miles of mountains. Every tree and every blade of grass hears my commands. Wake up to your power. He stomped on the master's chest. Put a black knife in your hand on your neck. Master turned his head and looked at me full of darkness. But no one can save you now. He's walking towards me. The air around you is getting stronger. Cover the sky. The surrounding trees immediately withered away. Even the rocks on the ground start to crack. I watched Master fall on the ground. I looked at the white wolf in my arms. Look at the blood in front of you step by step. The fear in my heart is gone. Instead, it's a fire of anger. I have no parents in this life. I'm a hard-working teacher who takes care of me. It is this white wolf saved my life in the cold snow. They are my only relatives in this world. Now, they've been hurt this much. Because of me. If I run away, I don't deserve to be called across. I close my eyes. The mind is empty. Innumerable images like the tide rush into my mind. 400 years ago, I wore silver armor, standing at the top of the mountain. Next to him is this white wolf, holding a long sword looking down 1,000 miles of river. At the foot of the mountain, countless juniors headed towards the top of the mountain. He knelt down and called me the white wolf. I saw blood in the village, sucking the human spirit, murdering countless juniors. I brought my master, the 7 wolves. The battle was fought in blood for 3 days and 3 nights, eventually exhausting his own soul. Blood seal on the top of the mountain. I saw before the super flamboyant soul. I told the white wolf, tell him to guard this mountain, waiting for me to switch. Tell my master to tell my afterlife guardian, keep me safe. Turns out they don't owe me. I owe them 400 years, a stream of warmth pouring from my crotchet, blinking my eyes down my body. My body is hot. The eyes can see through the source of blood. In the thick darkness, in my ears I can hear the trees and the grass. In the mountains screaming, because I follow my orders. I open my eyes. My eyes gave off a pale white light. The wind around stopped blowing black air into the sky. Blinking eyes did not dare to move forward. It's like encountering an incessant retrograde. The color of the blood changed in the blink of an eye, filled with horror. People want to run away. Want to run. I open my mouth. The voice is no longer a teenager's immaturity. That carries echoing majesty. All over the mountain, I raise my hand towards the blood, grasping the surrounding trees. Blink your eyes and wake up. Countless vines from the ground, like every giant blanket. Blinking eyes wrapped tightly around the body of blood. Tied him stiff, unable to move. The blood is maddening. But the tighter those vines get, the tighter they get. Carry the power of my pain. But the blink of an eye ate away at him. He let out a miserable scream. That sounds scary. I've walked towards him. He looked at his frightened face and smiled. Old man, 400 years ago, I conceal you. 400 years later, I can still destroy you. You think I'm easy to bully when I move like that? The previous 3 were not good people. I raise my hand. Turn a little round. He pulled out the black blood out of the old village chief's body. That blood is the origin of blood. Makes a howl tying my ears, but I'm going to get on the ground and run away. But how could I give him that chance? The master on the ground looked at me and shouted hastily. So, use the love carpet to destroy his original. Don't give him a chance. I look at the screaming bones. A thought flashed in my head. Suddenly came up with an idea. Killing him is cheap for him. I raise my hand and whistle a flute. Smiling and blinking, from the surrounding forest came out countless wild animals. Foxes, ferret, bones, hedgehog. Even the rats in the mountains came running. Surrounded a thick circle. It's all headed for the bones. Bared eyes roll. Blood murder. The most feared are those that are only unclean. Urine of the wild. The animal on this mountain is his rock. I turned to the bones and said, don't you like to suck human blood? Today, I will give you a taste of the water. The animals gave me an order. Hundreds of wild animals ran simultaneously urinating in the crowd. That's blood. That's a great sight. It's really spectacular. This pours straight on that blood. The blood bones, blinking white smoke, makes a rustling sound, shrinks at a speed that can be seen with the naked eye. The scream became even more depressing and angry. The master lies flat next to him. See this operation of mine, to the point of spitting out a sip of blood. He turns towards me and scolded. This rotten boy is a white walker, the god of the mountain. Let's use this cowardly trick. Have you lost face? I turned my head and looked at master laughing for an hour. Master, you can win. What is cowardly or not cowardly? This old man has hurt so many people. Give him a taste of what's cheap for him. I raise my hand, a ray of white light hitting the blood bones. That blood, the blink of an eye, made the last tragic sound, then completely dissolved in. The air doesn't leave a trace. Blood for 400 years. Just like that, I use the urine of thousands of animals extinguished. Blood has just been killed. The old village chief fell softly to the ground. He passed out and waited until he woke up. I don't remember anything before. I just remember being touched by something. I don't remember anything a little later. I don't measure up to him either. He was controlled by blood anyway. I went to the master's side. Squat down. Put your hands on your wound. Lie. The white in my body slowly flows into my body. Master. The wound on his arm. It heals at a speed that can be seen with the naked eye. The face also returned to normal. I walked back to the white wool, hugging it and curing it with fluorescence. The wound on his back. He rubbed my cheek, licked my palms. In amber eyes filled with joy. Master stood up and walked in front of me. Look at me smiling and nodding. Eyes filled with contentment. That's good, kid. It's finally over. I didn't wait for 400 years. From then on, I became a painter. The reality of mountains. No one in the village can call me a comet anymore. When they meet me, they call me the third reach. Even the village chief met me. You also have to bend your head. I'm just afraid I'll find him. But I still have a thick face. Every day, we trick the children in the village. Thy land's chicken egg trick. He stole the wine the master had hidden to drink. In my free time, I wander, in the same place as it, and search for the treasures of past lives, left in the cave. Move right. I went to find my biological parents. They live in the village next to my father, still very rural. My mother gave birth to a younger brother, already 10 years old. I'm a little bit like I was when I was a kid. I went to their house, but I didn't accept them. There is no revenge. Just sitting at their door, toying with peach wood sword. Master let me look at them and say, I was the one that year. They were thrown in the snow. There's nothing else to do here today. Just came to eat a meal. If you don't treat me, I'll leave the wolves on the mountain every day, into the pigsty, and suck the pig into the pottle. Smoking chicken leaves your house forever without a quiet day. My parents are so scared that your face is pale, body trembling. Hurry to stew me in a big pot of meat. Find the best wine. I set out at a table full of food to eat. I'm not welcome. Chew to eat a full meal. Drink a battle of life. I'm going to get the bacon. The factory, they prepared for Tet. I went with a jug of good wine. Before leaving, I told my mother. She threw me in the snow. Didn't leave me a sip of food, a sip of water to wait for me to die. These things, let's say you make up for my keep. Don't let me see you again. Or I'll come again. When I finished, I packed up and walked straight, never come back again, not born without nourishment. In my heart, my only father is master. And my family has that white walrus. The days go by day by day. I grew from 12 to 16. The teachings my teacher taught me became more and more proficient. Every branch of the grass. The animals in the mountains obey my commands. What calamity did the people in the village encounter? I'm all helping out. Everyone in a 100-mile radius knows. The mountain is inhabited by a living fairy. But I always feel it's not that simple. A few days ago, at the end of the cave, I found a stela. The stela hidden behind the cliff above an inscription. Through 400 years of sealing, you can still see clearly. Samsara, 3 lives, 3 lives, 3 lives, 3 lives. I took the stamp down and showed it to my master. Master also thought for a long time. Master sits in the yard smoking a pipe. I looked at the letter and was quiet for a long time. Finally, just shake your head, knock on the pipe, and say a sentence. The invisible sky. When the time comes, you will know. Besides, Master secretly told me, waiting for me to go through all my miseries. My body will be able to fully recover. What I lost that year can be found again. When I heard that, my eyes lit up. I chase my master every day and ask him questions. Ever new to come. I hurry to leave immediately. Master is annoyed by me, hiding every day. I didn't even go home. The white wolf in the mountain. Every night on the top of the mountain. I hollered for an hour at the moon, and then another, as if waiting for something. It's like reminding me of something. I know blood is just the beginning. My story has just begun.